I debated whether or not I was going to post this, but here we are. On May 2nd of 2026, I officially am no longer a Spirit Airlines flight attendant. We literally had no warning. Everything you've seen on social media is true. Like, we literally I found out maybe 30 minutes after the whole world knew. We had no warning. I literally ran into my supervisor like 4 days before this happened, like on April 28th or 9th or something. I think it was 29th actually. And they were gearing up for Flight Attendant Appreciation Month. Like, literally did not see this coming. I'm here just to say it's okay to not be okay. I am in probably the worst depression of my life. I'm not gonna cry. I'm done crying. But I don't know. I'm just lost. This was much more than a job, just like it was for most of us. If you were or worked for the company, especially if you were a flight attendant, you knew, like, we took care of each other. We were a family, beehive, if you will, black and yellow for life. And it hurts. I had 7 years of seniority there, which seniority is everything in this industry. I know a lot of y'all might think, oh, you can just go get another job at another airline, but it's not that simple. You have to go get hired, go through training. Again, each airline is different, so I'd have to start all over, go to training, which is most of the time unpaid. And of course, when we get into this industry, you know these expectations that are, but it's still just the thought of having to start all over. It's just stressful thinking about the process, and my seniority at my job was really, really good. I was really, really comfortable, and now I'm frazzled. My family no longer has health insurance. I had to cancel my son's orthopedist appointment because I just can't, It's hard. And I know a lot of people have it harder, but we're going through it right now emotionally. So please be sensitive to those of us that have been affected, because there were 17,000 of us. About 5 of those were flight attendants. And it's hard. Really, really hard right now. So if you see me posting on here more, because I'm trying to make a buck. I know God's got this. I know there's a plan for me in the long run, but right now it's really, really difficult to see where I'm gonna land. I know I'll probably stay in aviation. I don't know what that's gonna look like, but I'm gonna try my hardest to get back into it and find the positive in all of this.
As of May 2nd, 2026, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Spirit Airlines ceased operations and shut down. I was a flight attendant at Spirit Airlines for the last 25 years up until they ceased operations and shut down. I'm heartbroken. I'm devastated. I'm now an unemployed flight attendant, and I don't know what I want to do. But I'll figure it out. Just came on here to say a couple of things. One of them is that, did y'all know that Spirit had got voted the best airline for 2026? Also, did you guys know that Spirit Airlines was considered the safest airline in the U.S.? They were the only major airline that had never had a crash or fatality. Also, the reason why fares are what they are is because of Spirit. Before Spirit came along and they changed their business model, traveling was a luxury. Now it's reachable and obtainable, so a lot of Americans can fly. I know everybody didn't agree with it, but the prices were driven down at the other airlines that people may have liked a little better. And for that, Spirit will go down in history for being a game changer. I don't know what I have planned, but I know that my coworkers who were like a family, I wish them all well. And I know wherever they land, they're going to be great because they are a bee for life. But anyways, I'm definitely going to miss my job. Oh man, I'm going to miss being a flight attendant. I don't know if I'm a flight attendant any longer. I'm still trying to come up with ideas. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, I figured that out. But I just wanted to say, with all that they did, they still couldn't stay in business, even though we were the safest and considered the best this year. It's a crazy world we living in, but I know my bees, they got this. All right, y'all take care out there.
I made it home. The time now is 7:14 a.m. on Saturday. May 2nd, and I'm no longer a flight attendant. As of 3 a.m. this morning, Spirit Airlines ceases to exist. They shut down operations, which means I'm no longer a flight attendant. But it doesn't feel good. What's next for me? Not sure. I know one thing. I don't think I'm going to be a flight attendant again. I don't know if I have it in me for a 4 to 6 week training, or to be back on reserve, or to have to commute or move to another city. So we were told to try to get home if we could, otherwise they wouldn't get us a flight. And crew scheduling sent me a message that they had a flight for me back to Atlanta. They also said not to wear your uniform because people are crazy, and flights were canceled because of the shutdown, and who knows what people will do. So I made it to IAD, getting ready to hop on the metro to go home, take a nap. We have a 12 noon Zoom with our union for next steps.
What's going on, guys? So, laid off Spirit Airline employees were completely shocked about the things that transpired, leading into them becoming former employees of the now cease to exist Spirit company. So that's right, Spirit company no longer operates in a business fashion. It's completely done. As you guys heard from the former employees in the earlier clips. And it's one of those things, man, where, you know, you got to stay, you know, prepared. You got to stay aware of situations. Like, I talk about these type of things in my videos where I tell you guys that, you know, these jobs are not, you know, promised to anybody. I talk about situations where, you know, we were always fed that, you know, if you go get you a job and, you know, you go to school, get you a job, everything will be fine. You know, you'll be in the best position possible. You know, you can, you know, take care of your family. You can, you know, get you a home, get you a car, right? With some of those things being true, what they fail to tell us is that jobs isn't promised to anybody, and you need to be more. You need to be more on the edge of what will happen if you were to lose a job, right? Things to be, you know, prepared. Because, like I said, there's just too many people that rely on this job force. And as you can see, they're having massive layoffs. The structure of the economy in America is falling in a downward spiral. So with that being said, you can obviously see the effect of companies, you know, going underwater. We're talking about billion-dollar airline companies, right? As you can see in the first clip, the lady, in the second clip, the lady was saying that, you know, they were actually improved and they were starting to receive awards for this incoming year. So her thinking that because they had improved and they were receiving awards that, you know, the job was good. Like, you know, there would be no reason to worry about any of those type of situations. It would be kind of like completely off the mind, off the grid. You understand? And that's where it comes in with just, you know, staying aware of your situations, man. Like, you know, anything could happen with these jobs, yo. You know, and it's best to always have, you know, your plan B, your plan C, D, whatever it may be, because these companies and corporations is not going to tell you, you know, when they're going to just cut your money off. They're going to just cut your money off. Or at least majority of them isn't going to tell you nothing, you know, because the fact of the matter is they got theirs. They made their money off of you. You put in the years that you put in. they were able to feed their families and put their kids through college, and you know, dedicated your time, energy, and other resources to this company, and what do? They just get you out the way. So with that being said, guys, you know, you have to realize not to fall in love with these companies. You know, should you have a job to be able to, you know, pay for things? Yeah, if you're living here in America, this is a requirement, right? It shouldn't be a requirement, but it's a requirement. Because if you don't, obviously, you'll be living in a box, right? And in some cases, people are living in a box, like a small, you know, apartment or house, because, you know, cost of living is so high. And my point I'm making is that, you know, we wasn't prepared for things like this. You know, only thing that we were given from a public school system point of view is that you get your grades, get your good grades, and then your mother and father, they hyped it up. They said, go ahead, get you a little job, and, you know, the job will take care of you, and, you know, you'll be focused and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, things have changed over time, and it will continue to change, because, you know, this is, you know, the evolution of society, right? So with that being said, you know, you guys have to make sure that you don't give everything you have to a job, because at some point, you know, these situations can happen, not just to me, but it can also happen to you. All right. So appreciate you guys taking a listen to this video. I hope everything gets better with these employees that, you know, recently went through what they went through, because it's not easy to bounce back after getting laid off, especially if you're of an older age bracket. You know what I'm saying? Especially in today's time where layoffs are massive and finding jobs is tough. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace.